James, go down a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
They do.
There's a a special primate cocktail at the bar, which is very strong and good.
It's
like
maybe
melted
just alcohol.
sour
it
cream
is.
good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, let's just.
Well, should we start with, because we're going to wing it, right?
We're swinging it.
So I think what we'll start with, because, I've known Johannes for, I feel like 20 years, which is terrifying.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So I know a little bit about the origin of, I guess, Primate and where it came from. So do you want to maybe talk about what it has come from to become this movie?
Yeah, I think this was written in
2012.
Yeah, 2012, 2011. We were living. James and I used to live together in a flat in Aldgate East. We called the Mouse House because it just was.
It's ironic because it mainly had rats.
Yeah, a lot of and cockroaches. And I was doing a movie called Storage 24 that it was a kind of work for hire thing, and I was not having an awful lot of fun. And I came up with this. I was sitting. My mum had a swimming pool, and she had a dog called Ludwig that was running around the swimming pool. And I sat and watched it run around the swimming pool, and I was like, do you know what? That could be a really good idea for a movie if the swimming pool had no shallow end and the dog had rabies, and I was crazy about Cujo, and so it was all kind of like, oh yeah, this could be fun. And so I had designed. I probably had too many. My worry here is I've had too many cocktails, and I'm going to say something before this movie comes out to tank it. But I had. So I wrote that script while we were living in the Mouse House to do for the money that I was going to get paid off Storage 24, which is, so we were going to just do it like for nothing. And then it sat around.
Well, I think we made 47 years together, and I think that happened.
Yeah.
And then Johannes' other movies happened, and then I think it was, so we all worked together on Resident Evil, and I think it was around then that this came up again, right?
I remember being in the car with you and on the way to set in Resident Evil in Canada in 2020, and you talking about this idea. It's like such a great idea. I know you said you were heavily inspired by Cujo and Stephen King. You talk a bit about that love affair.
Yeah, Cujo's the movie that made me want to become a film director. There's I don't know if you guys know Cujo very well, but there's this shot in Cujo. It was where the camera. I was 13 years old, and I'm watching this movie, and the camera is the dog's POV, and it comes up. Dee Wallace is half in, half outside the car, I think she's trying to get her son's safety belt off, and it's stuck. And the camera comes up to her, and you're like, oh fuck, it's a 13-year-old. You know, I'm like, I don't know what a POV is, but I'm like, oh, the dog's gonna fucking get her. And then the camera goes up over her, settles on the window, and the dog comes in the other side. You might be thinking you've seen that in Resident Evil because I copied it. And I jumped to mine. I was like, fuck it, that wasn't a POV. They tricked me, and they settled into a I don't know what you call it, a normal shot, whatever. And they brought the dog in the other side. And so that was the moment I was like, yeah, I want to be a film director. I want to be able to manipulate people and scare people like that. So yeah, so when I had that idea of like, oh, this Cujo around a swimming pool.
I think it's like of the fact that it was originally a dog, and then you could talk about or not talk about how it evolved into being a chimp. But I think like some of my favorite parts of the film are specifically because the premise works excellent. Well, the chimp just gives you all this fun that a dog can't give you. Like it elevates it beyond Cujo.
do you know what? It got picked up by Netflix, and Saturn, while we were doing Resident Evil, Netflix had optioned it. They were paying money to develop it. Great. And one of their remits was they said dogs, dogs don't work on our algorithm. No dogs. They pressed the button. Boop, no, it came out no. And so it was like, what about chimpanzee? And they went, yes. So that worked on their algorithm. And so then when Resident Evil finished, developed it a bit longer, they then said they don't want to do this kind of movie anymore. Then optioned Cujo. And it landed on Walter Hamada's desk at Paramount, and he was like, I mean, this is the crazy, our relationship is a bit of a weird one in our friendship. This is the crazy way these things get greenlit, in that after Resident Evil was not getting a lot of calls, things were somewhat quiet. Netflix had let this script go. It had gone to Walter to read, and he'd gone, I like this, I don't want to make this movie, but I like it, so come in and meet me. And the weekend before I went in to meet him, Walter, amazing producer, produced Conjuring, It, all these kind of things. He's got a deal at Paramount. And the weekend before, I was sitting with James, and James had done this, I don't want to say terrible movie.
It's like it's this movie called He Went That Way, which had Jacob Elordi in it.
Yeah.
It's the one movie Jacob Elordi's done that no one's seen.
Yes.
Well, it had a monkey in it.
It had a monkey, well, chimpanzee in it.
Yeah.
And James is showing me this movie that no one except me and James have watched, and maybe and you, yeah. And it has a chimpanzee that they had done with a person who was
The daughter of the
Terry
Notor.
Notor,
Yeah.
the Jim's work is great.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you showed me, you sent me this behind the scenes thing, which was a lot more convincing than the movie. As you pointed out, this, maybe we keep this in the and so I'm sitting there with Walter, and he's like, chatting away, and then he's like, well, how would you do the chimpanzee? And I have got nothing to say here at the moment, and I pull out the video that you sent me, and as if I've done it. And the video is great, isn't it? That Legacy did, and it shows you all the R&D behind how you would do a chimp practically. And then he calls back 2 weeks later and goes, "Yeah, I'm going to make this movie."
Don't get any commission, by the way.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how that started. But it's amazing how these.
It's just crazy how the stuff that was never. I mean, to come from what you said, 2012 was the original.
Yeah. It takes.
I think also let's talk a bit about how good Troy is in the movie, and the fact that he's not part of the original plan either, but like also I think hiding stuff in a way that you could have never couldn't have predicted or planned for maybe.
Yeah, Troy is. I've just been doing press with him today. He is the sweetest human being. As a human being, I have never ever met someone, and this is from an Englishman, who can drain a pint of Guinness quicker. Like never. You'll just be sitting with him, and he will have that Guinness in his hand, and then he's like, and it's gone. It's done. But he is. When we started the movie, one of the things from the studio was to add in an adult role, and to make it sort of more, to have that sort of side of things. And Troy, I then wrote the, fleshed out the father bit, and we were looking at actors for it, and Troy's name came up. Coda had just come out, or had been out for a bit, and we were all like super excited about it. And the movie is kind of about communication, and it really has that sort of theme sort of going through it, linguistics, communication kind of stuff, and it just seemed to fit really super well. And he was really excited to come on, and then it's very like I worked with him very much to make sure that everything is exactly as it should be, you know, to translate this movie towards a deaf actor, and all the actors then learnt ASL, and then he just was so game for like, it just opened up the world.
Well, that scene at the end is incredible, right?
It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
And it's weird. It just seems so obvious, but now when you watch it with an audience, it's great. It's like a Punch and Judy show. People are like, oh, behind you.
Which is impossible to do with any other actor.
Also, a reference that nobody has anything to get.
Oh yes, is it not? That's Punch and Judy doesn't mean anything.
I know what it
Well, anyhow,
Okay.
it's a technical expression. But yes, yeah.
I just think it's, could you talk a bit about how, you know, they say you write one movie, you shoot a different movie, you edit another movie. Martin is here, the editor, by the way, he's right back there.
Yeah. Martin didn't edit it.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Oh, he's editing
He's
everything
been
else.
fine, but
Shit.
Martin edited the 47 movies.
He's
Yeah.
But like, can you talk a bit about, especially given my like third-party perspective of hearing it, the original idea, then what it turned into, and then I saw it at Fantastic Fest earlier this year, loved it as an audience member with no knowledge of what was coming. As a director, like how fun it is to find things on the way that you didn't expect that change it for the better.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably the thing about it that's, for me, I didn't expect is, for a movie called Primate, was the hardest movie tonally that I've ever had to do. Like, when we do the 47 movies, they are, you know, straight down the line. You know where they go. With this, the whole reasoning, initially the kill at the beginning,
What's his name? That's a grad love that with his face being ripped off. What's it?
Rob Delaney.
Rob Delaney.
Yeah, we shot that 3 times with 3 different actors. Another
Because they all died when they filmed.
Yeah, one after the other. They've all put their names up as different roles now in the movie. They all call themselves different things. Anyhow, the reason that was always meant for the chronological time that it appeared. And testing it with an audience, I realized that this movie is so bonkers and so, like, whether you like it or hate it, it's so like, what the fuck have I just watched? You know, that you need to set people early. Otherwise, there were times that people were thinking they were watching a documentary, or there's times when they were thinking they were watching a comedy, or, you know, they're both, you know, either end of the scale, and they didn't get what the movie was till way too late. So, needed to just, like, move that up, hit people over the head, and then they went, oh yeah, okay, I get it, okay, and then it sets itself up. But it's really interesting when you do the whole post thing of, like, working out how what you imagined is not what how.
It's so funny to hear you say that, because I think it's like of all of your movies, and I've seen almost all of them now. I think it's the one's closest to your actual personality, sense of humor, the mixture of like laugh out loud comedy to like really fucked up horror moments. But it like plays so, it's like tonally, I think it's quite a great dance.
Fun. This is by far, I mean, to me, to watch this with an audience is hilarious. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, the moment the kid goes off the cliff is just, that was never in the original movie. What was really great about this movie is having, although it was a studio movie, is turning a ship around. When you make a movie, and the bigger it is, the harder. It's like a tanker ship. The harder it is to do any changes. Once you're on a path, it's never gonna change. And we were a week before filming, and I was sitting in my office. I hate prep, and I'm sitting in my office pretending to do work and stuff. And I'm just thinking the same thing over and over and over again. Is with these movies, they invite the audience to think about how you get out the pool as well. That's what the whole thing, and it invites people to be angry, because you're like, no, you go that way, and people can get very angry with the movies, but that's part of the fun. And I was just thinking, you know, the first thing you guys are going to be sitting there thinking is, why the fuck don't you push the chimp over the edge? Like, that's the first thing I would think, just push him over the edge of the cliff. And we never did that. And the guy who pushes the chimp over the edge, he lasted all the way to the end. And I was like, well, I want to push him, like, he's got, you know, and to his credit, he was like, look, I'll handle the studio. Some Paramount people here. I'll handle the studio. You go, you know, and I literally had 2 days to turn the tanker around. But he did then, you know, I don't think he ever told anybody, and everybody's been fired then. But and we completely changed the movie, and completely, you know, we moved someone that was, you know, to the end of the movie. He died then at the beginning, and it's my favourite now. When I watch it with an audience, we filmed the head, cracking.
Yes.
That's a couple of, you know, I had a camera, a couple of bits of rocks, a television playing some waves, and we took a dummy with, they put some blood in his head and just dropped the dummy, and we filmed it, bang, put it in there, and the reaction from the audience is wonderful. So yeah, that for me, that's my favourite moment watching the movie.
The jaw rip is maybe my favorite. The ripping part, either the face rip off or the jaw rip off. But I do love the head smash into the rocks also.
Jaw rip off is great. Charlie Mann is the guy who gets was wonderful. None of them, neither Charlie or Miguel, who played the chimp, had ever done any acting before. And together in that scene, it's the weirdest, it's like, is it going sexual? Is it like, and it was never meant, but it's like you're watching this and they're talking and you're like, where, and I'm getting uncomfortable watching it. I'm like,
just wait for the Blu-ray, the extended cut of the director's version.
Like 9.5 weeks.
Yeah, it just starts to go to a place that you're like, I don't know.
Hey,
I
it's shifting your
this
seats
anymore.
slightly. Yeah.
But it was great. That was fun. I wanted to do, the reason it's all red, it doesn't make any sense, obviously, because you've seen the room before and it's never red, but please don't put that up on, but you know, but the reason I remember sitting in my room watching a DVD of Irreversible. I'd not heard of this movie.
Lord.
I put it on, I think it's VHS, and I'm sure most of you have seen it, but I remember thinking the camera's going round and round, and I was thinking, I can't be bothered with this shit, what's it? And I stayed watching, I missed it at the cinema, I'm watching it, eat my cornflakes, and then that first moment, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, when the fire extinguisher happens. And I'm hard to shock, and I was like, what the fuck have I just seen? And I wanted to create a scene like that, so this is my...
Yeah, a much more palatable version.
Yes, totally.
Who has seen that movie, Irreversible? Yeah, it's traumatizing.
The fire extinguisher, the beginning is crazy.
I mean, questions?
Yeah, we're gonna switch to questions, I think. Well, I mean, I'll first say, the whole reason all of us are here is almost because of Johannes. So I was, just to give context, this will be unlikely to happen again in the near term. We worked on Resident Evil together. I used to work at a company called Constantine. Johannes got hired to direct that. I met James through that. Then we started a little video, like a movie club in our living room when we were in Canada, and then that segued to LA, and then we convinced, James and I were thinking about trying to do this in a theater, and then we convinced Tom to let us do it. And it's been the greatest year and a half of movie watching I've had, so it's all thanks to Tom and to these guys that we get to do this. So
We only drink 38 less beers.
38 less beers per screening, but yeah. Afterwards, we maybe could solve that. Anyway, let's do some questions for, right there.
I'm an evolutionary biologist. I frequently work with primatologists and.
This is a true story. It all happened exactly as you saw it.
It's a wonderful movie. But there's like clear allusions to like Nim Chimpsky or Project Nim or whatever, which like add this extra kind of horror. And your comment about the breakdown in communication is really poignant, kind of in the context of that story too. Can you talk a little bit about?
I can. I mean, this is obviously there is much of the world of the world of. Phil? No, I'm thinking more of the world of the scientific research with chimpanzees and the good and the bad that this draws on. I try and stay. I even don't try and, particularly for myself, I've been asked this quite a lot in terms of my comment on keeping chimpanzees within, scientific research.
Domestication.
Domestication. And the movie tries to not comment on that. Whatever my personal views are, like, why the fuck would you keep a chimpanzee? It's my personal view. But that's not what this world is commenting on. I even get the Lucy first, but yes. Mother, why is that my first question? Can you ask something about John Carpenter?
Oh, we have actually some trivia hats, or those. Oh, we do. We're gonna. Well, these are primate special hats from Johannes that he stole from some.
Press Day. Yeah.
We'll do some trivia questions and throw these into the crowd like a Bon Jovi concert. Okay, some other questions. Here we go.
You guys use practical effects, I'm assuming, for most of the chimpanzee. Did you also do the method of using a child or a small person in the suit? And also, were there any animatronics in the face? Because it looks really good.
Yeah. So when we the way we sold this to the studio was as it's going to be a movie with a practical chimp, and we did a test with the chimpanzee from James's not terrible movie, and we used the same suit and the same actress, Trevor Notary's daughter, and it really it's fun. It's a fun little test that we did, and it persuaded everybody that the movie could be done. And she was really good. She was like 14.
14. She was almost a bit like when we used her. She was like 11. She was probably the right size.
I don't think she was far off. Yeah. Anyhow, whatever it was, she had the scale, but she didn't have the physicality. So when we came to do this, we did an open audition. We couldn't use any of the guys like Andy Serkis or her dad, Trevor Notary, who's the other, chimp guy, because they're too big. They're like 5'6", and that the one thing, as soon as this movie works, that you believe these people would have a chimpanzee in the house. Now that's the buy I'm asking for you. And once you believe that, it's movie world and whatever, but that's the buy I'm asking from you. If you come into this movie and you go, what the fuck? Why have they got a dinosaur? Why have they got this hippopotamus? Whatever. Then it doesn't work. So I needed the scale down. So we did an open casting call, and this guy called Miguel Torres from Colombia, never done anything before, came in, fucking terrified, just jumped up the wall, he was just absolutely terrifying. So it's like, okay, you're going to be the guy. So we built the suit. So the suit is like beautifully designed hair suit. We have maybe 3 to 4 different heads doing different things. So there's proper snarl, there's friendly, and then I had puppeteers working. So Miguel can operate the face to a certain level, like that, and you know, look around, and it's his eyes, although with scleral lenses, each showing a different level of rabies. Not that anybody can fucking notice for the and then yeah, and then the puppeteers are operating, like, so he can do that, and the puppeteers operate the snarl and the smile and the eyebrows and the nose, and sort of give it that life, and they would have to then work together to.
I think that was my favorite part, because nowadays a lot of things are CGI.
Yeah.
I can't,
And that's
thank
normal.
God they did it
Yeah.
practical.
But this being practical, to
Yeah,
me, just like made
Like
it-
that right there, it does
It's-
not,
it's
it's
terrifying.
not that scary in CG as it is.
Right, like
yeah,
even like
yeah.
a movie like Planet of the Apes
Yeah.
with like
Yeah, yeah.
hundreds of millions of dollars. Like this was like, I was like, whoa, like.
You couldn't, it was a weird thing, we needed the love, you needed to fall in love with him a little bit and feel he's a big teddy bear, and then you needed.
He was cute at first.
Yeah, and then
You feel bad for him as he's getting in, like sick, you know, where you're saying it's not his fault.
You feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and then he's a shit. He's a little shit.
Mad.
Yeah, bad. Yeah. When he pushes and he starts laughing, but Miguel went full Colonel Kurtz.
Yeah.
He went chimp. Like, he is still in a jungle somewhere, like gone full chimp, and you can see, like, for you guys, you wouldn't notice it, but like in terms of the order that I shot the movie in, I started with the Halloween shining closet thing, which was great fun, and it was great. And that's how I was filming. I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna film it, through slats and be super, and then I started to have fun, more and more fun, and you know, through the plastic. But then as I started to have more fun, there's the next week I filmed the exterior stuff with the car, where Hannah's running to the car, and that's where he has the car keys.
Yeah.
And it's all written as shadows, you know, keep him really, really in the shadows and whatever. And I was like, no man, let's bring this motherfucker. He's Freddy Krueger. To me at that point, he
Yeah.
was like, when he
Yeah.
does that, he's Freddy Krueger. And that's, for me, that changed the whole movie. I was like, his personality started to come across in the movie, and we started to have real fun with him being just me.
You're just fucking with the people.
Yeah.
In a way like no other
Yeah.
creature can really do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of issues. Yeah.
Was there anything deleted or unfilmed that you wanted to?
Oh, not that I like
the
film-
space sequence? Did
Yeah, the space
That
sequence.
got fun.
Yeah, I go super tight with stuff that I do. So there's lots that we cut out, but nothing
Substantial.
nothing that I wanted in. Like, it's not that we were under any pressure. I just wanted this really
It's a very tight movie.
mean roller coaster of a movie. So there's more, you know, we did different character stuff. I actually went back in and tweaked some stuff, and, you know, some of the airplane stuff. But yeah, no, nothing. You know, I'm sure we'll put stuff out on the extra DVDs, and I'm sure they'll make it sound interesting. It won't be. It'll be really boring.
It would be
It's a
very
sandwich.
interesting on the Roberts cut of the performance. Yeah, right there. Yeah, go ahead.
Johannes, better turn up tonight because you did your thing, first of all. Thank you for not killing the black man first.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned that there was the many Easter eggs. I saw like a little bit of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Of course, the Jaws has something to do with Jaws, and even like the
Carpenter
that
stuff, yeah.
scene,
Yeah.
was very like Freddy's dead. When Freddy was behind Carlos and his death and all that.
Freddy's dead. What
Oh,
the
sorry.
fuck?
Are there any other Easter eggs, and are you and the cast going to go to any conventions this year?
I not done any conventions.
That's not true, like,
Oh, it did one
15 years ago,
15
right?
years ago, we did. Yeah, we had our little DVDs out.
Yeah.
I sold 3.
and we went to chat to one of the actors from a movie we did, and he was like, do you want me to sign something?
Yeah.
No, I directed it.
Yeah. Two of the movies I sold that day were to a guy that thought he was getting 2 different, but they were just 2 different covers. And I was like, I get £10 for each, so he's still hunting me down. It has obviously The Shining through the and Halloween, Cujo just in general. The music is, you know, Christine is it's love, it's beating heart. There's lots. For me, I don't never trying to deliberately. I don't want to wink at you. I don't want you to see these. I'm very happy if you see the references, but I'm not trying to make you see them. I just have watched all these movies, and it's a chimpanzee, so it's completely different. That's the clever thing. I didn't watch it. But yes, there will be loads that I can't think of at the moment, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
How did you pick the location for the movie? Did you have to do a lot of location stuff?
It's all
Great
shot.
question.
Yeah, I wrote the fucking thing for Hawaii. I'm ready. All shot in London. All of it on a soundstage. We built the forest, we built the cliffs, we built the.
Isn't that crazy? It's
Yeah.
very.
Everything. Massive. There was less clapping when I was stuck in my. It was a really wonderful old school shoot to do. I'm not sure I'll ever get to do something quite like this again. You know, to as a full studio shoot, to make something as gory and something as practical. And the studios that we shot it in were as high as, you know, this is now at least, and much bigger. And we would have these huge matte paintings, forests, and then huge translights, which is like a big photograph that doesn't work, and you have to shoot, not shooting it, but anyhow, of the ocean and stars in it, and projectors putting stars up that still don't fucking work, and you have to shoot the other way, but whatever. And then building, it was so old school. It was like an old school Hollywood movie, and the house is a real house off the M25 in London. And it's like, who lives in that house? You go to the bathroom, Freddy Krueger's seen that, Jason's seen that, like everything's glass. It was crazy, but it looked like it could be Hawaii, I guess. I've never been to Hawaii. Yeah.
I think all that practical stuff comes through in like a kind of visceral way, like the suit and the matte paintings and the no green screen. It feels real. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was on location until
I think, well, for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, what happens is the movie invites you into a world. It's never saying I'm a documentary, it's just inviting you into this world that is proper old school filmmaking. And it's saying, come in. But the chimp is what the chimp is, that's how the chimp is gonna look. This is how the world's gonna look. And it just has this kind of texture that is really old school filmmaking. And it was just beautiful for me to play with that. And it asked the one buy-in for the audience is like, believe, come in, believe that this family would have a fucking shit. Anyhow, believe the family would have that, and then we are gonna fucking entertain you for an hour and a half. And that's all it says to you, you know, just sit back and then we'll go at it. But it was, so I've never been to Hawaii. I've not even been to Madeira. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. The exterior is a Madeira.
Yeah.
Which is Portugal. Yeah, I've never even been there.
B unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get anyone else?
How long did it take to film? How long did it take to film?
Oh, 5 weeks.
What?
Yeah, I think it wasn't long. They never give me a lot. Yeah, it's like yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
I could really hear myself. Okay, so this is probably gonna be one of my favorite movies because when I go to the movies, I normally go to sleep. But this
That's high praise.
Hey,
There you go.
that's on the cover.
Yeah.
Like, normally go to sleep. Director hasn't fucking seen the white.
maybe there might be another one too, because just off how it ended, I can't understand if you said, if he was saying dad, dead, or.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I know they're not gonna just leave us hanging like this.
Yeah, I'll tell you on Monday. It is really how that's gonna work.
It's gonna end with King Kong
Yeah,
someday.
as a character, I have never had so much fun as working with Ben. Like, I don't know how he's coming back, but he's coming back. And the world, the practical world is great. You know, in the cone of silence of this audience who are now going to put everything up on the internet, but I don't, you know, let's hope the movie, there's a world, it's a fun world. I love the way it interacts with the audience, so I would love to do more of that.
Tell your friends about it, it'll make those people a lot more like
Okay.
it. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, very, very big fan of 47 Meter Sound.
Thank you.
And the core of that movie comes from the feeling of confinement around water.
Yeah,
And I could feel that essence around the pool scenes in this movie as well.
yeah.
So I wanted to ask if you notice that tendency and why do you think you guys keep coming back into that feeling?
They
It's,
never let you leave the UK.
I get one location, and that's it. Yeah. I mean, 47 it's all shot in Mexico, but it's not. I shot it in an industrial estate in Basildon because I didn't get to go to Mexico. Mandy Moore loved that. Yeah, I love siege movies. Since a kid, since I read, you know, orcs attacking people in Lord of the Rings, I've been absolutely just, I love this contained siege kind of environment. And everything I've done, Resident Evil, this, whatever, has that same sort of vibe to it. This was kind of written at the same time 47 was, so it has that same vibe of like really having fun with like an audience movie. It's really my first, you know, as a director, is understanding, I was trying to explain this to someone, how this movie is like, it's a big screen movie, it changes every night, depending on you guys, and you guys bring it to life. Once it comes out on DVD, it is the movie it is. But that, you know,
Each theater is its own energy. For
yeah,
sure.
and you change it, you see it, you shift it, you find different things, and it becomes this living, breathing thing. And that's the great starting. These movies are great for that, with the sort of you invite the audience in with this sort of confined location, and you're basically saying to everybody in the room, right, let's work out together how we get there. And you hope that some people are thinking this and some people are thinking that, but you try and outthink them, and most of the time they're like, you stupid idiot, right, whatever. Why have they dropped the phone again? And it's fun. That side of things is fun. So I really like the test of that. I mean, James and I have come up through making movies for nothing. You know, my first movie was made on $5,000 with Uri Geller in it, and then we made some terrible, so you learn the kind of these confined things, but it makes it really fun sort of challenge. And it was really interesting to be able to do this on a slightly bigger scale. But it definitely has that 47 vibe.
You're also very comfortable in the water, unlike, I think a lot of people,
I
swimming,
directed all of this in the pool. So I was in the swimming pool with an iPad, and would move behind the cameras, and it was fun. You know, it felt like we were just all, anytime anybody complained, it's like, no, I'm in here too. And you kind of got on with it and did it. It was a good movie. After we went through hell on Resident Evil, this was a good one.
yeah, there you go.
Just wondering if there's any significance to the name Ben, or why did you choose that?
I don't think so. My oldest friend is called Ben. I think
He has rabies.
I think that's why.
He killed my friend.
I think that's where it came from. I don't think it's anything to do with Michael Jackson. Don't, you know.
Is that the name of his?
No, it's Bubble. I don't. Yeah, it just felt like a really. In Italy, they're calling the movie Ben, which I think is a great title.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, how important was those moments of between Ben's rabies fog of his vulnerability that he showed, that it kind of brought out? Was it a way to manipulate the audience, or just to kind of give us those moments of maybe there's some hope?
Yeah.
Showing himself.
Yeah.
Was that obviously that was purposeful in certain moments?
Yeah, I love doing it at the end. Like, maybe 3 people in the audience are still like, but yeah, he might be. I'm like, tell him, so he just, it's gonna hurt.
He might be okay.
He might be okay. I love the wishful thinking. It's so tricky. Like, as a pacing of a movie, this kind of world and the kind of movie it is, in terms of, you want to have that progression, and you want to take it as long as you can, but then obviously you have to, you know, get into the movie as quickly as possible. But I really enjoyed, I wouldn't normally be quite so flashy with the camera, but it was like, okay, I need to show that you know, he's going crazy, and it was using I can't remember, do you know what it's called? Is it gimbal head?
Focus?
No, focus, yeah, I normally don't use the focus, that's why nobody watches the movie. No, the head that makes the camera go that way, you don't.
Oh,
no,
lever head.
No, okay. I think it's called, whatever it's called, anyhow, it moves the camera that way, which is, you know, a piece of equipment, anyhow. I would normally don't do, you know, but I was like, okay, I need to visually move things along and show, and the idea of revealing Ben when you first see him by doing the whatever, you know, gimbal head shot to see him and reveal him was, and then to where he goes, he's by the pool, and then to turn it round the other way, just it seemed like a really, I think it's clever.
It's the alternate reveal. It's like the mirror image of the new Ben.
Yeah, and you start to feel like he's going without, it was fun. I really enjoy those bits where you know the movie you've got into, and you can, but there's still in your mind, you know it's not going to get better, but and you have those moments where he goes back and forward a little bit. And it's fun.
I like that he just doesn't go full Cujo. Like
Yeah.
you do have those moments where you're like, oh, there's something in there that's not sick.
Yeah, he could
He's not a devil. Like,
yeah, and then he.
Well, he was a little bit of a devil later. Yeah. With the
Yeah.
parking, yeah.
Did you change anything based on test screenings, for example?
Always.
Always. Yeah.
Always. I should say no. Never. Artistic. No, I'm a big. I'm a big believer in. There's all these cameras. Wait till Monday. I'm a big believer in making. You know, this is a movie for an audience. It's definitely important to me that I want to. The movie comes to life with an audience. So I love showing it, testing it, tweaking it, changing it. I love post-production. I love all that side, shaping and forming a movie is really important. So yeah, some people hate it, and I'm you know, there's a different way of going, but to me it's.
But I think on like movies like this, they're like audience based.
Yeah, you have to. The
like,
scare, exactly. And sometimes you can have the same scare, but you have it in a different place. Doesn't work, or tone. With this movie, it was tone so much. If the audience just went into it thinking something slightly different, it just doesn't work. But if the tone is right, then it just plays through the roof, and it's so much fun. So yeah, you have to. I personally am a big believer in that world.
Yeah, maybe one or two more. Anyone else? Go ahead.
So the dad was very, very like certain, like there's no rabies on
Yeah.
Hawaii with the vet.
Yeah.
Was he just in denial, or like where did the rabies?
Maybe he knew he was infected.
Yeah, he did.
Where did the rabies infected mongoose come from?
I feel like I could answer this honestly, or I could. So, it, you know, the rabies. There is no rabies in Hawaii. Maybe I didn't know that. I'm just throwing it out there. But
Yes.
then
There's
it
no
felt
rabies.
like it
Yeah.
really connected into the world. And once, you know, when we were playing around, you know, before the movie started, and it was just like, you know what, that's, my big problem was always like, why is Dad not coming back straight away? That's the big issue. Like my big, where I'm asked to make a buy into the movie, and it, like I would reject it at that point. Like you go back, I'm a parent, you know, you go back, you have to. But if there's no rabies in Hawaii, then it's like, yeah, okay. So it gets explained in the sequel.
Well, let's give him another round of applause. This also, you know, I said this is our first screening of a new movie, which means we're not watching something from 40 years ago, which means you all really like move the needle. So this is where, you know, it comes out Friday. Please tell your friends. Please post about it. Everyone needs. It's like an audience movie, so please share the news. And, yeah, Johannes gonna sign some stuff and.
For a price.
For a price. Yeah, the one who drinks in the lobby. But Thomas?
I was just gonna say the bar is only open until 10:30.
Perfect.
So everybody should go out, including like all you guys.
Oh, the hats! We didn't do the hats.
Yeah.
John Carpenter trivia, I guess. We can do that after.
Yeah.
We'll do it after.
Guys, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you for
everybody.
staying. It's so nice. I never get to speak to anybody, so I really do appreciate you staying.
See you at From Beyond in 2 weeks with Robert Crampton for the 40th anniversary.